By 9 in the morning on Thanksgiving Day, I had already set off the smoke alarm twice. The kitchen looked like a war zone. Flour on the counter, potatoes half peeled in the sink, a turkey sitting on the stove like it knew I had no idea what I was doing. My parents were flying in, my brother was driving in with his wife and their twins, and this was supposed to be the first year I hosted. The grown-up year, the she's got her life together year. Instead, I stood in the middle of my tiny apartment kitchen, wearing an apron that said grateful and tired, holding a burnt pan of what used to be stuffing, and seriously considering serving cereal for dinner. Before I tell you how one unexpected knock on my door turned this disaster into the most beautiful Thanksgiving I've ever had, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so more Sapphic women can discover these cozy romantic stories on Sapphic Fiction Hub. Now, let me tell you about the chef who showed up when I needed more than just help with dinner. The third time the smoke alarm went off, there was a knock at the door. I coughed, waved a dish towel at the alarm, and yelled, "1 second." Whoever it was probably thought my apartment was on fire, and honestly, they weren't completely wrong. I opened the door with flour on my cheek, my hair in a messy bun that had given up, and a dish towel thrown over my shoulder like I knew what I was doing. The woman standing in the hallway blinked once, then smiled. She was holding a large insulated bag and wearing a navy blue jacket embroidered with the logo of the new restaurant down the street. Dark hair pulled back in a low bun, warm brown eyes, and an easy confidence in the way she stood. "Hi," she said. "You must be Olivia." I froze. "Do I know you?" She laughed softly, and it instantly relaxed something in me. "I'm Ava, head chef at Willow and Sage. Your neighbor, Mrs. Rodriguez, ordered a Thanksgiving meal pickup and asked if I could deliver it to her niece's place instead, since she's not feeling well. Niece named Olivia, 3rd floor, 3B. That you? Or am I rescuing the wrong apartment from imminent combustion?" I stared at her, then at the bag, then at the turkey, which was definitely starting to dry out. "Oh my God," I breathed. "I think you're rescuing the right apartment." "Can I come in?" Ava asked, lifting the insulated bag slightly. "Or is this a crime scene?" "It might qualify," I said, stepping aside. She walked in, stopped, and surveyed the kitchen calmly. Most people would have gasped. She just took it all in like a puzzle to solve. "You've been busy," she said gently. "I've been failing," I corrected. She set the bag on the counter and turned to me, leaning her hip against the edge like she'd done this 1,000 times. "Okay, walk me through it. What were you trying to make? Turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, stuffing, pie, rolls, emotional stability." She smiled, eyes sparkling. "Ambitious," she said. "I like that." I took a breath, embarrassment hanging heavy in my chest. I've never done this before. Every year my mom cooks. This is the first time everyone's coming to my place, and I wanted to impress them. But I think I may have accidentally committed a hate crime against stuffing. She laughed, a real bright laugh that made my stomach flutter. "Well," she said, opening the insulated bag, "the good news is, I brought backup. Turkey, sides, dessert. All ready to go. The bad news is, nothing is plated, nothing is heated, and I have about an hour before I'm supposed to be at my own family dinner." My heart sank a little. "Oh, of course. I'm already taking your time." She looked at me, really looked at the flour on my cheek, the panic, the hope I was trying to hide. "Or," she said, "I could stay for a bit. Help you get everything ready. Make it look like you did this all on purpose." My chest warmed. "You do that?" Her smile softened. "I love saving lost dinners, and you look like you could use a win today." She shrugged off her jacket, revealing a simple black t-shirt that fit just right, then washed her hands like she'd been here 100 times. "Okay, Chef Olivia, you're officially my sous chef." I blushed at the way her fingers brushed my hips when she tied the knot. "I'm not sure I'm qualified." "Can you take direction?" "Yes." Can you stir without burning something? Questionable.
Then you're perfect, she said. Now grab that pan. We're going to fix your stuffing situation and then we'll tackle the rest. For the next 20 minutes, my tiny kitchen became something else. Ava moved with practiced ease, turning chaos into order. She slid pans into the oven, stirred sauces on the stove, and repurposed my failed attempts into something that suddenly smelled good instead of tragic. "See?" she said, nudging me gently with her shoulder as we stood side by side. "Your stuffing isn't dead. It's just evolving." "You're like some kind of Thanksgiving witch," I said, watching as she sprinkled fresh herbs over the pan. She smirked. "I prefer culinary miracle worker, but I'll accept witch if it comes with a good hat." Her arm brushed mine as she reached for the salt, and my heart skipped for entirely non-culinary reasons. "You really care about this, don't you?" she asked at one point while showing me how to mash the potatoes properly. "Of course I do," I said. "I wanted my family to see that I can host, be the one who brings everyone together, make it feel like home." She glanced at me, her expression softening. "You know, home isn't just about the food." "Says the chef," I teased. She smiled. "Okay, yeah, food helps, but it's more about the way people feel when they're with you." Her words landed somewhere deep. I looked down on my hands, suddenly shy. "I just don't want to mess it up," I said quietly. Ava reached out and gently lifted my chin with her fingers, making me meet her eyes. "You're not messing it up," she said. "You're trying. That matters more than perfect mashed potatoes." Her touch was light, but my whole body reacted like she'd flipped a switch. We stood there for a beat too long, her hand still under my chin, the kitchen warm from the oven and from something else I didn't want to name yet. Then she dropped her hand, cleared her throat softly, and turned back to the stove. "Okay, let's not burn the gravy. That would ruin my reputation." I smiled, a little dazed. "Can't let that happen," I murmured. Once all the food was in the oven, she helped me set the table. "You have nice taste," she said, arranging the plates and the fall-themed napkins I'd bought weeks ago. "I spent an embarrassing amount of time on Pinterest," I admitted. "It paid off," she said. "This looks really beautiful." We spread the dishes out, lit candles, and placed a simple vase of dried flowers in the center of the table. My small dining room suddenly looked like something out of a magazine, or at least a very aspirational Instagram post. Ava stood back and crossed her arms, admiring our work. "Now this," she said, "feels like Thanksgiving." I looked at the table, then at her. "It does," I said softly. "Thanks to you." She shook her head. "Thanks to us." As she turned to look at me, our eyes met. For a moment, neither of us looked away. There was a softness in her gaze, something that felt like recognition, like we'd known each other longer than an hour. "You're easy to cook with," she said. "You're easy to follow," I replied. Her lips curved. "Is that so?" "Yes." The air between us thickened, warm, charged, gentle. "How long have you been a chef?" I asked, leaning against the table. 10 years, she said. "I started in my grandmother's kitchen. Thanksgiving was her favorite holiday. She said it was the one day people really sat down, looked each other in the eyes, and remembered what they had." "That sounds really lovely," I said. A hint of sadness touched her smile. "That was before things got complicated." I hesitated. "Complicated how?" She looked at me for a long moment, then shrugged lightly. "Families don't always understand who we are, or who we love." My chest tightened in a familiar way. Mine doesn't either, I said quietly. Her eyes met mine again, more intensely this time. So you're, she started. Very into women who rescue my Thanksgiving, I said, trying to make it light. She laughed, but her gaze didn't lose its warmth. Good to know, she said. She glanced at the clock. I should go soon, she said, reluctance hidden in her tone. My family is expecting me in 15 minutes. That's not enough time. For what? She asked softly. I swallowed. To thank you properly. Her breath caught, just slightly. You don't have to. Yeah, I think I do. She watched me for a moment, eyes searching my face. Okay, she whispered. How are you planning on doing that? I smiled nervously. I have no idea. She smiled, stepping closer. I have a suggestion, she said. My heart hammered. I'm listening. Save me a plate, and maybe when things calm down tonight, you and I can share leftovers. Just us. No pressure. Just food. And not being around our families for a while. My stomach flipped in the best way. I'd like that, I said. Good. Then consider me thanked in advance. Right on cue, I heard a car door slam outside, followed by familiar voices echoing through the hallway. That sounds like them, I said, my nerves returning all at once. Ava smiled reassuringly. You've got this, she said. The food's ready, the table's gorgeous, and you did more than you think. She reached for my hand and gave it a gentle squeeze. Be proud of yourself, Olivia. I'm getting there, I said. With practice, you will be. We walked to the door together. She slipped her jacket back on, grabbed her empty insulated bag, and opened the door halfway before turning back to me. Happy Thanksgiving, she said. Happy Thanksgiving. She hesitated, then stepped close enough that I could see the tiny gold flecks in her eyes. For the record, she murmured, you look really good in that apron. Heat shot through me. I'll wear it later for leftovers. Her lips curved into a slow, knowing smile. I'll hold you to that, she said. Then, before I could overthink anything, she leaned in and kissed my cheek. Soft, warm, lingering just slightly longer than polite. My heart stuttered. She pulled back, eyes meeting mine one more time. Text me when you're free, she whispered. Then she was gone. My family loved everything. They complimented the turkey, raved about the mashed potatoes, and fought over the last slice of pie. I'm impressed, my mom said, squeezing my hand across the table. You really outdid yourself. I smiled, a little guilty and a lot grateful. I had help, I said quietly. From the kitchen, my phone buzzed. A message. I slipped into the hallway and checked my phone. It was from Ava. How's dinner? Did the turkey behave? I smiled. It was perfect. They loved everything. Thank you again. I owe you my life. A moment later, I'll accept payment in the form of pie and your company. My heart flipped. They're leaving in about an hour, still up for leftovers? Her reply came quickly. Definitely. I'll bring wine. An hour later, the apartment was quiet again. My family had left with hugs and leftovers. The candles had burned low. The kitchen still smelled like roasted herbs, butter, and cinnamon. I changed into soft leggings and a cream-colored sweater, tied my hair back again, and, after a second of reconsideration, put the apron back on. Just as I was adjusting the strap, there was another knock on the door. This time, I opened it with my heart already racing. Ava stood there, holding a bottle of wine and a small paper bag. Hi, she said, eyes scanning me from toe to head. Still in chef mode, I see? I told you you liked the apron, I replied, feeling my cheeks warm. I do, she said. A lot. We sat at the table again, now just the two of us, with plates of reheated Thanksgiving food between us. This looks better than what my family had, she joked. You're lying, I said. Maybe, she admitted, but I'd rather be here.
I looked at her, feeling the honesty in her words. I'm glad you are, I said. The conversation flowed easily about her restaurant, my job, our families, our favorite comfort foods. The wine loosened our shoulders, but not our control. There was something peaceful about it, gentle, intimate. At one point, she reached for the same roll I did. Our fingers brushed again, that now familiar spark running through me. Sorry, I whispered. Still not sorry, she said softly. We both laughed. Then she didn't pull her hand away. She turned it slowly, letting our fingers slide together until they laced. My breath caught. Is this okay? She asked quietly. Yes, very. The candles flickered lower. Our plates were mostly empty, but neither of us moved. Ava stood, walked around the table, and held out her hand. Come here, she said softly. I let her pull me to my feet. We stood in the warm, dim kitchen, inches apart, the rest of the world miles away. Olivia, she murmured. Yes? Thank you for letting me rescue your Thanksgiving. Thank you for saving it, and for staying. Her hand slid gently to my waist, her thumb brushing slow circles through the fabric of my apron. I think, she said, eyes dropping briefly to my lips, I'd like to do something slightly selfish now. What's that? I breathed. This. She leaned in and kissed me. Soft at first, testing, giving me time to pull away if I wanted. I didn't. I leaned into her instead, my hands rising to her shoulders, then to the back of her neck. The kiss deepened, still gentle, still elegant, but full of a warmth that had nothing to do with the oven. She tasted like wine and cinnamon and something entirely her own. When we finally broke apart, her forehead rested against mine. Best Thanksgiving I've had in a long time. Same, I said, still breathless. If this tender Thanksgiving romance with a warm, gentle chef made your heart feel full the way it did mine, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more Sapphic women can discover these cozy, romantic stories on Sapphic Fiction Hub, where every holiday, every disaster, and every unexpected visitor can become the beginning of something beautiful.